Hello everybody, Gisele Grenier here from artplace.ca. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm doing a two-part video. I've got a mixed media piece that I'm creating where I'm putting this little bird's nest in it. So to shorten up that video, because you can buy little bird nests at, let's say, Michael's for $3.99 Canadian, but I wanted to make my own. So I'm putting that portion into its own video, which is what this is going to be today. I will tell you though, this little bird's nest took me over an hour to make. The video is not going to be an hour long because a lot of the tedious steps, I'm just going to speed up the video with some background music so you won't have to sit and watch it for so long. Excuse me. So for this, going to be using just some burlap. I picked this up at Home Depot and some cord. Just little bits of this. I think I picked this up at the dollar store. And let's see, little flower pieces. I picked this up at Michael's when they were on sale. And let's see, these little rhinestone beads. These are little gems. Picked these up at the dollar store. Little eggs. I picked this up at Michael's only because Joe found them. He said, use this in your video. So, okay. Because in this one here, I used little pearls. So you could see that with all these little pieces here, these are beads that I picked up from I don't know where. These are in my stash. I've got some she cells. I've got a button, more little shells. Nice one here. This is a little bit big for the bird nest, but I got that. So if you don't have little eggs, it doesn't matter. Use whatever, but I like the pearls. So you can see I actually put a base down. And I actually put a little die-cut butterfly. Found that at the dollar store too. That's optional. But it's going to sit on an actual branch on my mixed media piece. Okay. I did this fairly quickly. You can still see some of the glue stick strings, which is fine because when birds make their bird nests, they put a whole bunch of stuff in there. Okay, it's a little seashell. So I'm going to be making that. So let's see. Of course, we got some little things here. And to get it started, all I did was I cut burlap into small bits, and then all I did was just pull out the strands because I love the texture of the burlap string. And then when it got to about this long, I just cut it. I didn't want to make them too long because I wanted them to be really, really rough looking. And then what I did is as I was cutting them, I was just doing a dry fit, just putting it together to make something like this. And I kind of went around, okay, like that. And when I was doing some research on making bird nests, the most common thing is making it out of blowing up a balloon and wrapping it around. Well, I don't have a balloon. I don't have balloons in the house, and so I'm just going to do it from scratch. And it's possible. I'm trying to do it where you can use stuff that you have around the house. And if you don't have flowers, don't put flowers on it and use grasses or whatever. And Joe also bought me this cool heat glue gun, the Ryobi one. It's cordless with battery pack. And the good thing is that we can switch up the battery. So when this goes dead, I mean, he gave me a charger. He's got like 5 of them, but I can just steal one of his batteries. So I'm going to turn that on and put that aside. And just to do a prep, now while I do my prep, I'm going to do this in real time, but once I actually start putting it together, then I'll start speeding it up. So these little flowers, just going to pull them off. And what I like doing with these little flowers are kind of cute. You can put little, I don't like the plastic look to them. I'm not going to use all of these. I'm just going to pull them off. But these ones here, I can cut off the stem because I can push that right into the nest. You can use this stuff for other things, and I'm going to cut the leaves. So use grasses. You know, I have a container of maple leaves. I might put one of those on there. I had to hide that because Chaos likes eating that stuff. So, I mean, you can still hang on to this stuff if you want to use them for something. If you have animals, just be careful. So these little flowers are 2-layer flowers. So I'm going to pull that right off. I don't like that plastic blue thing in the middle. That I actually will put in the garbage so Chaos doesn't get it. Like I said, if you don't want to use little flowers, then don't. I just want to add a little bit of color. And no, I'm not going to use all of these. And these ones will be also for the base. So the mixed media piece that I'm creating is a on a book of backgrounds background, which will be mounted to a canvas. It's one of the backgrounds that I didn't like, but I'm going to be upcycling it. And as I was laying out this design on paper, I was realizing that it's not going to be strong enough to hold, so I may just do the whole thing straight on a canvas. All right, and then what I did with these little doodads is, because they're 2 layers, so I would put a drop of the hot glue here, put this one on, another drop, and then I would put a little rhinestone in the middle. And they look like that. Okay, so again, if you want, you don't have to. You don't have to. So I'm going to put these aside. These go on at the very end. These we have to do first. These go on at the very end, at the very end, at the very end. And so what we're going to need is this. And knowing how I created the actual nest, I cut up some more strips. I'm going to try something different on this. So the first thing I'm going to do, just going to get this started. I'll just create a little bit of a base here, no biggie. And make the base as big as you want. It'll just make it stronger. And I'm just going to, a little bit of glue there. Put that down. A little bit of glue there. Put that down. Okay, just like so. Then I'll take the leaves that have the flat edges. And I'll just have those sticking out. Be very careful when using using a gun. This is the first time I think I've used a glue gun on camera. And this is hot. Okay, I'm going to leave those. Excuse me. One more. There we go. So that's it for that. Put those aside. And then what I'm going to be doing is starting to build the base around just to get it started. When I did the original one, I just basically put strands, dropped some glue, put some more strands, and it was quite difficult. I also tried one using wet glue, and it's been 36 hours, it's still not dry. So I'm not going to bother with that. So I'm just going to get this started just right in the middle. And I'm just going to lay, actually we'll just lay this down like that. And then I'll make a circle. And the bird's nests don't have to be perfect, okay? They don't have to be perfect. Just get some type of rough circle there. And then come around. I'm going to go on the outside now. And just build it that way. Just getting it started. This is not the tedious part. And this glue gun is a little bit overkill for what I'm doing, but I wanted to try it. I've got another little cordless one that's attached to a base, which is really clunky. I don't like it. I like how substantial this one is. I'm going to go all the way around now. Excuse me. And now I'm just going to put that on there. I can twist that around. No biggie. Like that. And this is just to help. I'm finding this is so much easier from the way I did it before. I'm also doing this on my unstick reusable arts and crafts sheet, because if the glue gets on this, it doesn't matter. It will not burn. All right. There we are. So that gets that started. So it'll look something like that. Okay. And I can actually keep going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap around the bottom. And depending on what kind of piece that you're making, the more substantial it is, it's not going to fall apart. So ideally, if you're doing this as a gift or a piece of art to sell, make sure it's sturdy. The most embarrassing thing is when you create an art piece as a gift or to sell and it falls apart. So take the extra time. This is just building up the base. I can twist it and go around here because bird nests, you don't only make the nest out of sticks. They use paper and okay. Oh, let me just put a little bit there. There we are. All right, so that's that. And now we're going to start doing this. So all I'm going to do again is just to put some glue, then take some pieces. I'll take, rough pieces, not stuff that's perfectly even. And I'll just put it aside like this and I'll just build and build and build until I have a base started. I will take, a couple of second breaks in between to make sure the glue is set. And you won't be able to hear me swear when I burn myself. Okay, the flowers are probably the worst part. I did these different than the way I did them on here. On here, I actually just glued the flower, then put the stone on. I want to try doing it this way. And I'll show you how I did that. And when I create much more flowers than I'll need. I like doing them in batches. So if I have like half an hour and I feel like doing something in the studio, but nothing in particular, I'll batch a whole bunch of stuff together. Gesso some boards or, whatever. And this turned out really, really nice. There are a few little loose pieces, and a few more little loose pieces will come off. And I will, when I create the mixed media piece, when I actually put this on the branch, I'll actually fine tune what the nest will look like. So when I was talking about the flowers, what I was doing before was, now there is a front to this. It's this one here. I made this part really stick out. So if I want to put the flower, let's say here. So what I was doing is I was putting the glue and then taking the flower. Where's the glue? Putting the flower on. Putting a bead of glue. And then putting the stone. One thing I will have to say, this glue gun, although I love it, you need a lot of pressure on that. So I may go back, I may actually pick up a little itty bitty glue gun. Like I said, when I did these flowers using just regular glue, it was Well Bond I was using. They took a long time to dry. So this is actually better. When I create stuff with floral, I always use a glue gun instead. So now I'm just going to basically embellish. And whether you put the glue on the piece or the glue on your little nest, it's up to you. So this is the front, so I have to make sure, and then I'll just put, I'll put a blue flower on the bottom, like that. And I have to look at it this way. I'll put something here. A little blue flower right there. You don't have to use the flowers if you don't want. And I'm just going to put one more of these. I'll put that one right there. And one more blue one, and that'll be it. I want to actually cluster this like that. I wonder if I could take that one off. Put that closer. There we go. Like that. All right. I have a little container. Let me roll. I have a little container. A whole bunch of little ones that I'm working on. These just need the stones. They're bigger stones. And these are stones I created a webinar on these where I was tinting clear stones with alcohol ink. Okay, takes care of that. Oh, I have an extra one here. And now we're just basically, the hard part's over. Now we just basically just glue little bits and bobs in. Where'd that go? Like that. And I'm going to put a little piece sticking out here. When I created the first nest, I didn't have a front or a back arranged until I put the butterfly on there. I'm not going to fully... Oh crap, where's the front? That I think was supposed to be the front. That's the front now. The bird's nest I'm doing now will not be completely finished until I actually get it into the mixed media piece. So I'm going to do this one with little eggs. I'm only going to use 3. Let's see how they look. Oh, they're so adorable. I actually like how I laid that out. Side, don't burn myself. When you see the glue gun shaking, is I'm trying to get just enough pressure. What I wanted to do was actually write down little motivational sayings on the eggs, like little inspirational quotes. But no, none of that. Perfect. All right. And I'll just take a little seashell now, and I'll put that one right here. Oops, too much glue. So let me take something bigger. Just put this little thing here like that. And, oh, I'll put the seashell on the bottom. No, they really wouldn't see seashells. I wanted to put them in mine. And little seashells, I picked this stuff up at Michael's in a big bag. I think it was $9.99. I'll put that one right there. And actually, I wasn't the one that found. Joe finds all this stuff for me because I'm too busy looking at other stuff and I get so sidetracked. button. Oh, a little piece of glass I have here. Cluster that in there. This is sea glass. Okay. And I want to put a pop of color inside. Again, you don't have to, just put it together the way you want. This would have been really cool to use as inside the pearl inside the shell. And you can also use beads, whoops, for the eggs instead. Can make use of that button. The button is not being used as embellishment, it's being used to hold the butterfly. But I won't be able to put the butterfly on until the mixed media piece is done, because I need to position him around the branch. But what it'll look like is a little butterfly on there. So there we go. Little nest. And it's ready to be put into the mixed media piece. And then all these little leaves here, again, I will add these after the fact, positioning them in between the branches as it goes. So if you'd like to check out the video for the actual mixed media piece, it's in the description below. I hope that you enjoyed this. It is a really fun little project to do. A little tedious with the glue gun on that. So if you've created stuff like this, you know, share in the comments below what you've done. And because I always like getting feedback of what other people did, if they have a better way and stuff like that. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss anything. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And again, if you do create a project based on this, I would love to see pictures. You can email them to me privately, or you can post them in my private Facebook group. Links to both of those are on my website at artplace.ca. All right, time to clean up and going to work on the mixed media piece. Again, link is in the description. All right, everybody, so I'm going to clean up and get ready for my next project. Until I see you next time, stay inspired.